The poet or a man, the poet or a poem may count to us historically, they may count to us on ground personal to ourselves, and they may count to us really. They may count to us historically. The course of development of a nation's language, thought, and poetry is profoundly interesting by all regarding a poet's work as a stage in this course of development. We may easily bring ourselves to make it of more importance as poetry than itself is really is. We may come to use a language of quite exaggerated praise in criticizing it, in short, to overrate. So arise in our poetic judgment the fallacy caused by the estimate which we may call historic. Then again a poet or a poem, they count to us on ground personal to ourselves. Our personal affinities, liking, and circumstances have great power to sway our estimate of this or the poet's work, and to make us attach more importance to its poetry than itself is really process, because to us it is has been of high importance. Here also we overrate the object of our interest and apply to it a language of praise which is quite exaggerated, and thus we get the source of a second fallacy in our poetic judgment, the fallacy caused by an estimate which we may call personal. Both fallacies are natural. It is evident how naturally the study of history and development of a poetry may incline a man to pose over reputations and work once conspicuous about now obscure, and to quarrel with the careless public for skipping, in obedience to mere tradition and habit, from the famous name or working in its national poetry to another, ignorant of what is missed and of the reason of keeping what is kept, and of the whole process of growth in its poetry. The French have become diligent students of their own early poetry, which they long neglected. The study make many of them dissatisfied with their so-called classical poetry and quote tragedy of the 17th century, a poetry which Palissy long ago reproached with its want of the true poetic stamp and its politeness sterile et rampant, but which nevertheless has resigned in France as absolutely if it has been perfection of classical poetry indeed. The dissatisfaction is natural, yet a lively and accomplished critic, Mr. Charles Harry Colt, the editor of Clement Marot, goes too far when he says that the cloud of the glory playing round a classic is a mist and dangerous to the future of literature, as it is intolerable for the purpose of history. It hinders, he goes on, it hinders us from